Okay, so I think we do have audio now. I'm sorry about that. Basically, what I was saying there is welcome back to another video. Look, it's been a long time since I've done a live stream, so you will have to forgive me for some of the probably nerves throughout it and lots of rambling in it as well. I don't know if I'll leave this one up after. It's more so just to come on, take a look at the charts, take some opinions on what people like on the channel. Are people getting value from some of the stuff that's going out there? What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? And basically to take that kind of approach with it. Because look, without everybody that's subscribing, liking, commenting, all of that type of stuff, the channel will be nothing. So the growth that we have seen has been absolutely phenomenal. And I can't thank people enough for all of the positive feedback that I've been getting. Look, I'm open to all types of feedback. Any kind of constructive feedback is always welcome. That's what I want to get from this type of a live stream here. I will stick a lot more to the pre-recorded kind of videos and see how we go from there, because I know myself when I'm looking around, when I'm looking for a certain topic, it's always better to get the pre-recorded version because you don't get all of the fluff and all of the kind of ramblings that you guys are going to get a little bit of here. I like live streams when it's more of an interactive thing, when people can ask questions, when you can get answers to specific questions you have. In the pre-recorded stuff, I can answer all of the general questions that come out there, and so far I have been replying to every comment that comes on the channel. I think I've got everyone. If I've missed one, I am really sorry, but at the minute it takes me about an hour to 2 hours every morning to reply back to every comment and message and everything that I'm getting, and it's taking longer and longer every day. So if I miss a comment or a PM or anything like that, then do send it again, because I haven't missed people intentionally. It's just that the volume is starting to get a bit overwhelming at times, trying to keep up with everything. So I'm just going to see, can I bring up the chat as well here to see what's going on? So people can all hear me and everything like that. Keep up the honest, non-pumping. Yeah, look, a lot of my videos, some of the negative stuff that I get on my videos is that I am not aggressive enough with my pricing, that I'm way too conservative and stuff like that. But to me, I would far rather be like that and give people realistic expectations. If I say that I think this year we can go to, if people who've seen my price video, I said that over a $1 ADA. If we close out this year over a $1 ADA, to me, that is a successful year. Look, I think we will have lots of peaks up and down in between that. Once the releases start coming, I think there's going to be a bit of a roller coaster effect. So we're going to be up and down, and in between releases, we've seen with Shelly, people who've seen my video last night, I talked around this a little bit, in that we've seen with Shelly how the price had a huge run up in expectation of what was coming with Shelly, and then after that it started to go down because there was nothing that came after that. So we came down to lows then after that, and we're now starting to see the pump for Gogan, and Gogan is coming in parts. So to me, we're going to have big pumps before each release, then after it we're going to have slight dips on it. How far the dips go, they could be bigger. Then if the next release takes a while to come out, then the dips could be bigger. If the releases come out and then we get adoption is going to be key to the long term, how the price goes long term. Because look, it's brilliant having all of this fantastic technology that we know Cardano is bringing, but adoption is going to be key. We can talk about price all day long, we can talk about what the project is bringing, but unless it gets out there and gets utilized, that is where the key for all of us is. So that's what I want to start focusing more of my content on going forward as well. So I'll still be doing lots on the price side. I've got a lot of the basics covered in some of the videos so far. Some of the next ones that I want to do are I want to do a complete A to Z on staking for new people when they come in. What are the common questions? So I've focused on tutorials, and a lot of other people have too. But what I see is there's the same common questions coming up all the time. Like, can I add more funds to my wallet? What happens if I add more? Are my funds at risk? All of that type of stuff is what I want to cover within one blog post and within a video, so that when people are coming in new, I can give them one clear document and video to say this should answer a lot of the basic questions. And if there's more after that, then we'll do a part 2 in that video as well. So let's see what's going on in the chat now. Scrolling through here. Looks good, everyone can hear. Anyway, so look, if anyone has specific questions, I'm going to go over to the chat or over to the charts here. Anyway, let me bring them up. So again, it is just getting used to all of this again. So what I was talking about last night was, I was looking here when I put out my video last night. For anyone who didn't see it yet, the charts were up around here. So I was saying what I really wanted to see for the long-term growth of Cardano was that we would get a pullback and we would come down and test in around this 982 to 1000 sats level, because for so long this level here was a resistance. And what I mean by resistance is we struggled to get up through it for so many times. Let's just make myself a little bit smaller here. You don't need to see me as much now. Hold on. There we go. So we struggled to get past this level for so long. We came up, hit it, and got rejected. But when we came up and hit it 2 nights ago now, we had a really good breakthrough on it. But in order for us to do the next leg up, for me, we needed to come down and test it again. And in my view, this here is close enough to testing this level as support. So when you look at it back, we had spiked up just above this level, but to me this was the median level here. So coming down here to 990 today is close enough for me. So to me, we could be starting the next leg up for the real Gogan pump. Is there a chance of us coming back down below this again? Yes, of course there is. Look, the crypto markets are unpredictable. I think Cardano is on a really good path at the minute. There's lots of stuff coming up, and if we look, I know lots of people like to look at the USD charts as well. So again, what I covered in the video was breaking out of this pattern here that we were stuck in, or that we were forming. Again, strong breakout, and it's good to see that we've held it up here. So Bitcoin hasn't been making many moves. It's in consolidation at the minute. It's trying to find good support before again making its next leg up as well. So there's lots of tether FUD out there at the minute. There's always going to be FUD when you're looking at Bitcoin. But for me, Bitcoin may go up and down. In the long term, to me, as a non-financial advisor, I wasn't reminded of that last night, that I need to keep saying that in videos. Look, I'm just some random Irish guy who is sharing my own thoughts and my own perspectives on this. So anything I say is in no way financial advice. But to me, Bitcoin in the long term is only going in one direction. Yes, we're going to have big pullbacks along the way, and in turn that is going to pull all of the other coins down in terms of USD. Right now, ADA looks good, sitting in around the 37.5 cent mark. I've actually opened up a long myself here. I'll go through this in a minute and how I go about opening up a trade. But looking back here, this here is the chart that is going to define the rally for me. So how we perform against Bitcoin is always going to be key. So let's just take a look at what I'm missing in the chat. And we see, right, scrolling back up to see, stay conservative. Yeah, to me, being conservative is better. I would rather be proven wrong on the conservative side than be proven wrong on telling people that we're going to $10 this year and that's just it. I would rather be wrong saying if we finish above $1, look, we can easily finish a lot higher. But I would rather have people the expectation of finishing in around that dollar mark than the expectation of finishing in around 10. So if we finish at 10, then that's completely unbelievable to me at the minute. But again, that comes down to market caps and where the current cryptocurrency ecosystem is. So lots of different countries out there as well. give the video a like, guys. Give it a share if you think that there's others that would like to join in as well. So don't... I see some unknown saying about stake pools. The stake pool operators have no control over the rewards. That is all handled by the system. I do want to put together a video on that because I didn't fully understand the whole inner workings of that before I was a stake pool operator myself. But basically the algorithm handles everything. So in terms of rewards and everything like that, if the pool earns rewards in an epoch, then the pool operator has no control over stopping them funds or anything like that. The blockchain distributes them funds to everyone that's within that pool. There are times that if a pool doesn't produce blocks in an epoch, they don't get rewards. This does happen with smaller pools. It was the case with my own for a while as well, where we were a smaller pool, so we weren't getting blocks in every epoch. Then when you do get blocks, generally you get bigger rewards. Now that we've passed the 6 million mark in the pool, which I am very grateful for, we are on the path now of getting consistent rewards all the time. So I would expect to not see any zero epochs going forward. But again, as the way the blocks are assigned within the Cardano blockchain is on a lottery base. So we may hit an extremely unlucky one, but at the size that we are at, we would want to be very, very unlucky not to get rewards. So is it true that each time you deposit more ADA? Yeah, every time you put more ADA into a wallet, what happens is you go into that 15 to 20 day waiting period again, because there's snapshots that happen at the end of every epoch. So at the end of every epoch, there's a snapshot taken, and then that is what is taken into account. That epoch, your stake is registered, and then the following epoch you start earning. And with Cardano, the reason that there is the 15 to 20 day delay is because you get paid out 2 epochs later for what you earn. So that's where the delay comes. There isn't a 15 to 20 day delay in earning. It's just in when you actually see the first payout from the additional ADA you put in. Where am I? Can ADA ever get to a price of 1300? I did hit on this last night. Currently, I don't see any possibility of us getting anywhere close to that type of figure. The reason for that comes down to the market cap. So I talked a bit about this last night. If we look at CoinGecko here, where you look at Cardano has, let's open the two of these. So Cardano has a circulating supply of 31 billion coins at the minute, with a 45 billion down at the end when all is in distribution. That's what we're going to have. Whereas with Ethereum, they have 114 million circulating supply. So the market cap is the total amount of money that's in that coin right now. So you multiply the circulating supply by the price, which is what gives you the market cap. So what I worked out last night was if we had the market cap of Ethereum currently with the circulating supply of Cardano, it was somewhere in the $450 region. I think $450 was the price. If we were the exact same size as Ethereum right now, then our price would be $450, which is still a 12.5x, 13x from where we are right now, which to me is extremely nice gain. So you just always have to take market cap into perspective. So the $1,000 ADA, to me, I can't even comprehend trying to think of the market capitalization that we would need. I think right now, look, we're at $1 trillion in market cap. In the future, that's going to be a lot higher. There is no doubt in my mind about that. We will be in the multiple trillions of dollars, possibly by the end of this year. And over the next few years, that's going to grow and grow, which that in itself brings up the possibilities for higher and higher prices for ADA. So what we need to concentrate on is breaking the old all-time high of over $1. And once we get to that level and find a sustainable level there, that's when I will start to look at the $4 to $5 level above that then. So my opinion, I see one of the next questions was my opinion for the next kind of 2 years, and that's where I am. If we can establish a baseline above $1 this year and then look to $4 to $5 within the next 2 years, that is where I am looking at myself. And if we get to a $4 to $5 ADA, that to me would be an extremely comfortable level for rewards then at that stage. Videos on institutional investors, yeah, that's something that I can look into. I'm not aware of many institutional investors coming into Cardano at the minute. I would expect that to change over the year. Staking with Exodus, where's it gone? After losing that, oh yeah, staking with Exodus. Exodus is a really good wallet. If you like to have multiple assets in one wallet, then Exodus is a really good wallet for that. The downside of Exodus that I don't like is they don't give you a choice of the pool that you delegate to. Atomic Wallet is another really good multi-asset wallet, and it does give you a choice of what wallet you delegate to. So that would be one that I would suggest if you're looking for multi-asset. But my first choice always is going to be Daedalus or Yoroi, because they're the ones that are the official wallets, and as more and more comes into the ecosystem with voting and native assets and stuff like that, then the official wallets are going to give you a lot more in terms of what you can do with your ADA. So positive feedback there. I really do appreciate that, guys. Would I still be buying at this point? Yeah, this is something that I'm always asked, what is the max price that I would buy at in terms of ADA. So if I look at this here, right now, I would, if we start to establish a base here, I would be placing, if I was coming in new, I wouldn't wait to get my hands on some ADA. What I will be doing is looking at the DCA strategy, which is what I talked about in previous videos, where you buy in at the current market price and then you set lower orders. And actually the trade that I have opened here on, this is a futures trade, but the same criteria applies. You can see my initial order went in here for, I think that was about 50% of what I was willing to put into this trade was here. And then I set multiple lower buy orders down here. You can see all of these are for 200. This one here was for 800. And if I go to open orders, you can see down here, you can see that these are all at different levels then. So some in the 37 cent region, some in the 35 or 36, right down to the low 36. So what happens then is, this is my current entry price. But if the market drops and hits this, that pulls my entry price down slightly, and each of these orders here will pull it down slightly more. So over time, to me, this strategy is good, because look, we're going to get dips in the market. They're not guaranteed. The dips could happen when the price could go way up here first, and the dips could be down to levels up here. We don't know. So for me, who already holds a bag of ADA, I have buys in on the charts as well. So this is just a trade. This isn't trying to buy ADA in this one, but it's the same type of setup that you would use. For me, I have lower orders down in the market, and I have them on the Bitcoin or the ADA Bitcoin price. 5 wallets and separate. eToro staking, I don't do any staking on eToro. To me, it's not a place I recommend to buy your ADA either, because again, you can't withdraw it. It's like Uphold. You can't withdraw the ADA off the platform. For some people who are happy to leave it sitting on there, then it is fine. Look, these are big companies, and I don't see them going anywhere soon. But again, for me, I always prefer to hold control of my coins. Where am I looking? If you're staking, yeah, if you're staking, you should be earning rewards once your pool is generating blocks, and you can check that on ADA pools or pool tool to see if the pool is generating blocks. Now I will say the past performance doesn't always give the proper picture. If you look at my own pool within Daedalus right now, it says the potential rewards if you delegate are 0, which they aren't, because I know we're getting blocks now, and we will be getting blocks going forward. It's only that in the past, when the pool was smaller, then there wasn't definite rewards every epoch, but going forward there are. So I would say for some smaller pools, if you like what they're doing, then do give them a chance, because there is that point where pools need delegation in order to generate regular blocks. But then on the flip side, which I fully understand, people who are staking, they want to see regular rewards before they will delegate to pools. So what every pool needs is people who will trust in the pool and really support them in the beginning, which I was very lucky to get. I had some really great people that came in and supported my pool, even when we were in epochs that weren't giving results. They stuck by the pool, and now I hope that they really gain the benefit of us going forward as we start to get a lot more blocks and rewards. Just catching up on the chat. Yeah, Revolution says that earns around 4.5% in. He has 5 different wallets and earns 4.5% in all of them. Yeah, so that is a realistic expectation. I would say that the average is probably around that. It's around 5 to 6% is the average that most pools will get to. So you'll see some pools that are down in the 4%, some pools that are up at the 7% at the very height. You might get the odd epoch that goes a lot higher. But in general, the 5 to 6% is a good range to aim for. Then looking at rewards going forward, how long will they last? So staking rewards are set to decline every year. So I do have the research of this video half put together. I just haven't got it finished yet. So every year, the amount of rewards that are there for staking is going to go down. So we don't know what the returns are going to be in a few years' time. This will all be different. So at the minute, I'm saying it's the 5 to 6% range. If the transactions on the blockchain didn't increase, then that percentage is going to keep coming down year on year. But the way that the ecosystem is built, or the way the blockchain is set up for the rewards mechanism, is that all the transaction fees will go into the pool that pays out the rewards. So over time, the way that the system is meant to work is that all the transaction fees on the network are what are going to be paid out to people who are staking their ADA. So instead of, like with a bank, you're paying fees on different transactions, but instead of paying them fees to a bank in this type of system, they're paid into the people like myself that run pools, and then they're distributed from the pool into the different people that are delegating. So that is the structure that is there. And I think that once we see Gogan smart contracts, native assets live on the blockchain, we are going to see a huge increase in the transactions that are ongoing. So I did cover transactions in a video recently on the stats that are growing in the network. So I think in a month's time, I'm going to look at a video like that again to see how the transactions are growing on the network. Where am I here? Can we reach $1,000? So again, I don't think $1,000 is realistic. I talked about that earlier. I'm not sure if you come in later, Tim, but looking at market caps currently, it's not a realistic possibility. Look, I'd love to have something like that, but to me, it would take an unbelievable amount of money to come into cryptocurrency for that. ADA and Bitcoin are good for your portfolio. I do see people saying that you should only have ADA, or you should only have such a coin or anything like that around the internet. For me, having a bit of diversity is always good. Having ADA and having Bitcoin to me is good. Looking at, I hold a few other small coins, but ADA and Bitcoin make up the big majority of my own portfolio. Bitcoin to me is the one. If you're looking for the safer cryptocurrency long term, then Bitcoin is always going to be a good option. But when you look then at the risk to reward ratio of something like ADA, when you look at the potential rewards that are there, I think it's always good to have assets like that in your portfolio as well. And obviously with all the time that I'm putting into this channel and in setting up the pool and everything, then I really do believe in the future of where it's going. Peter says $2 this year easily. $2 definitely a possibility. Again, for me, finishing above the $1 is a successful year. A few things just about price there again. If you're looking at, again, on the price, is the current price a good price? If you were looking 1 to 2 years down the line, then my own personal opinion is that any of these prices around now are going to be a good price. It's just, it depends on where you are looking for yourself. If you're looking short term, like trying to do some trades short term in the market, then it's definitely something that I wouldn't be just as positive if you're looking at the short term, because with the way that the market works, you will, as I was saying, we're going to have a roller coaster year. There's going to be lots of ups and downs, but overall, I think we are going in one direction. Short term, we're going to have dips, and that's just part of being in trading. Am I planning to sell at the end of the bull run? I'm not planning to sell my ADA. For me, ADA is one of them really long-term holds for me. And what I would like to do to get to the stage, people say you're mad that you wouldn't try and sell at the top of the bull run. But look, unless you have a crystal ball, you don't know when the top of the bull run is. For me, then my plan is to get to the stage where the staking rewards are able to pay a lot of my basic expenses. So I don't live an extravagant life at all or anything like that. So I don't have high expenses on a monthly basis. So if I can get to the stage where staking rewards are paying a lot of them, then that is where I want to get. I would cash out some Bitcoin if we got to really high levels, but again, I haven't set my own plan in place. I had my plan last year, 2 years ago, but then the bear market happened, so that changed everything. So I really need to sit down and reassess this soon, and everyone should do that. So it's very easy to get caught up when the price is just consistently going up. It's very easy to forget about what your targets were. So if you had a target of selling out some of your Bitcoin or some of your other coins at a certain level, then don't forget to take some profits along the way. There is never any harm in taking profits in a market. No matter what people say that, oh, you sold at such an early price, then taking profits is never a bad thing. Where am I gone? Chats after taking a jump on me there. Bit2Me. I've never heard of the Bit2Me exchange. $1 by the end of March. Can't rule it out. Again, it depends. There's a Goguen hard fork happening next month, so it depends how that goes. The one next month is going to give us native assets on the live chain, and then there's going to be another final Goguen hard fork. I don't know when it's set for yet. I've heard end of Q1, early Q2, but there's no hard date on that yet, so we'll have to wait and see. When I get them dates, I will do a video talking about the roadmap and where things are going long term. Because again, that's another common thing for new people. If you switch pools during an epoch, do you lose rewards you would have got? No, you don't lose any rewards if you switch pools, because the snapshot for a pool takes place at the end of an epoch. And at the end of the epoch, it takes place, and then it registers you in the new pool during the next epoch. So you're still earning in your old epoch, even in the following epoch after you've changed. And then it's the one after that where you actually start getting rewards in the new pool then. I don't have a video setting up a stake pool. It is something that I will look into in another few weeks. I will try and get something, because I know there's a lot of people ask that, and there's no definite guide out there, and it's kind of changing all the time. There's a really good group on Telegram. If you search for stake pool operators on Telegram, I'll just check the name of it actually. If you're interested in stake pools, Cardano stake pool best practice. If you look that up on Telegram, there's a lot of really good guys in there that are running their own pools, and you get some really good guides and ask questions in there. So, questions. Is ADA my retirement plan? It's one part of it. I would never guarantee any one source as my definitive plan. It's definitely one part of it, and it's going to be one stream in there. So I'm still always looking for other things as well. And what else am I seeing? Try to transfer some money into an account or two. Yeah, some banks are blocking cryptocurrency transactions at the minute. Well, not just at the minute. This is ongoing for a while now. But banks are always going to be blocking it, because look, there is a lot of shady stuff that goes on. So I can't fully blame banks on all of this. There's lots of people say, oh, banks are just trying to stop the next generation coming along, but it's not always that. There's legitimate reasons to stop some transactions. So normally when you get onto your bank and you ask them to whitelist, or whatever their procedure is, to whitelist certain transactions, then you can get them through at that stage. What's my day job? I would say 95% of my day job is cryptocurrency. So I've been self-employed now for just over 4 years now, I'd say. So it's always been in the tech sector, worked with a company as software engineer, and for the last 4 years I've been doing everything online, and over that time I've got more and more into cryptocurrency. So I build websites as well from time to time for local people, and I'm also involved with a startup as a kind of a part-time CTO on that as well. So a few different things going on, but day to day it is basically 95% stuck in crypto. That's why I can afford to put so much time into the different groups and different places where I'm answering questions. I take, scrolling down, Twitter Blue. I don't know. Asking about Twitter being built on Cardano. I don't know exactly what's going to come in the future, but I know Charles is very much against deplatforming people. So I would see something social media orientated coming along the lines for Cardano in the future. Probably not this year. Maybe next year, maybe the later part of next year. There's still a lot to be built on Cardano before they can start looking at projects like that. But we could actually see something coming in catalyst funding. So if someone else comes up with the ideas, has the team to go in and try and build it, they can look for funding from the Cardano Association for that. So again, maybe that's something that a third-party team can build. I haven't looked at Fund 3. And for anyone new, Catalyst is where the Cardano Foundation has a certain pool of funds, a treasury set aside that will fund projects out there that help the Cardano ecosystem. So if you have ideas, you have the ability to come in and build them, then you can apply for funding. And then that's voted on by the Cardano community. So where else am I? Sorry, chat's starting to move a bit quicker now. As well, if you like the video, please do give it a like. I think we have 270 people on at the minute. I'm looking at different stats than what you guys are on the front end. So I do really appreciate any likes or anything like that on the video. Where am I? So Gauguin will render Ethereum obsolete. To me, there's no 100% Ethereum killer. Look, Ethereum has been in the market first. Ethereum has a lot of big partnerships. Yes, it's big, clunky and slow right now, but if they sort that out, I think there's lots of room in the world for Ethereum and for Cardano and for some of the other blockchains that offer the same type of functionality. It doesn't have to be one big blockchain that controls it all. I think there are different niche areas that will be able to have certain sectors of the market. So where am I? Altcoins. So to me, I don't really own anything outside of the top 20 at the minute. So I have, and actually outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, I have a small amount of DOT as well. I don't hold much else of much value. I have some BNB just because of trading on the exchange. I've had that for a long time now. It gives you cheaper fees. What else do I have? Small bit of Monero. After it got delisted, I sold within the first hour. I sold half of what I had. And because I had always held that as a good hedge, I thought that privacy coins will have a future, and I only sold half because I still do think there's a big future, but I think there'll be chances to buy it at better prices. And again, what I say is there's lots of small cap coins out there that can give you huge returns, but for me, if you dedicate a very small percentage of your portfolio to them types of things, they can be a good bet from time to time. So it is something, once I get a lot more content established out here and can find some more time, I do want to get back into trying to find some of these smaller altcoins as well. But for them, they will never be hodls. They will be buy and sells. So they will be just looking for returns. Why have I so much faith in ADA? I just see the potential of where they could go. So with ADA, what they do is they put a lot more time into building before they launch, and then they launch a product that works really, really well. So we've seen this with Shelly. I am expecting the same level of performance from Gogan, and if we do, the potential of where it could go is absolutely huge. So we'll come back and just have a look. We're still holding the bounce, which is very good to see for where we can go with this price. So what's next on questions? Sorry, the chat keeps jumping down every time I scroll. Okay, so what's my take on the SEC lawsuit with Ripple? Okay, so Ripple isn't a coin that I have held. I think I held it at one stage back in 2018, but it's never one that I think I traded it more than held it. It's not one that I ever held with looking to the future. I didn't like how much control the central entity have, and that they were releasing so many funds on a monthly basis. I think that potentially they could get more than just a fine. Now again, nobody knows what's really going on the inside here, and you can be sure that Ripple XRP has a lot of lawyers. They have a lot of money, so you can be sure they have one of the best teams there that are working behind the scenes on this. There's part of me thinks that they deserve to get that the company now. I feel sorry for any of the investors that have been involved in it, because look, the SEC can look at any cryptocurrency and can cause major damage, but I don't feel sorry for the company for what they have been doing with the amount of money that they had there, that they were just giving away huge chunks of money to encourage partnerships and selling into the market as well. So for all of that, I think they deserve to have some repercussions on it. But then the other side of me is that it's a bad light to put cryptocurrency in when you see all of these SEC files coming down on cryptocurrency. So again, I think they will get something. A fine at the very least is what they will get, but depending on how bad the inner side of that is, there could be more trouble for the CEOs there. Whether it is coming for ADA Cardano next, again, that's another video that I have lots of research done on, and one that I need to get out there as well. Probably next week though at this stage for that. Basically, in short, I don't think Cardano is going to be next on the list. For me, the way that it's set up is a lot different than Ripple is set up. They done their ICO in Japan and they had KYC. They didn't come near the US. Now that is the big argument that a lot of people give, that the SEC can't target them because they were in Japan. But that isn't 100% the case. It's there's lots of other factors there, but my opinion is I don't believe that Cardano will be next. So what else am I missing here? MakerDAO isn't one that I have looked much into, so I can't give a comment on that. I think it hasn't been doing well lately, if it's what I'm thinking of, but again, I haven't looked enough into it to give a proper opinion on it. Reserve lending, yeah, I think that if we can get to the stage of some DeFi and some of the, like we see with Celsius, what they do, if we can get that type of stuff on the Cardano blockchain in the future, potentially wrapped Bitcoin on the Cardano network as well in the future. There's so many possibilities that are there. But again, once we get Gogan out and see what it can actually do, then that is where I am going to get really excited then. So let me see what's next on this. Do I own stock? No, I don't own any stocks. I have an extremely small pension from when I worked with a company years ago, and that just kind of sits there now. So again, that's in and out of stocks, but I don't personally hold any stocks right now. I am pretty much all into crypto. What's next? So again, where do I see it at the end of the year? Again, finishing above $1 is really good for me. What can smart contracts offer? Smart contracts, look, a lot of the applications and the dApps that we see on Ethereum, they are all done with smart contracts. So there are endless possibilities of what can be done with them. They take a lot of the central authority out of decision making, and now they are hard coded in. Smart contracts are hard coded that if this happens, then that, and it takes that decision out of one single entity's hands. So I think once we get it, with Ethereum, any of the ERC20 tokens or contracts that are out there can be imported into Cardano. So that is going to be a big thing. Realistic dip before any pump. I'm hoping we've had the big dips out of the way. Like when Bitcoin went from the 42,000 down to 30, I'm hoping that that is the biggest dip we're going to see. So when we're looking at this chart now, and this is what you always need to do when you're looking at a chart, scroll out. So we've had a dip here and a big dip here on the ADA price. For me, I'm hoping that we are done with them types of levels. So in the mid 20s, at worst, I would be looking at maybe coming down to the 33 cent mark with a dip, but holding solid before we can push up. To me, we don't have to dip. Looking at this chart, we don't have to dip in order to go up now. For me, the dip was this here. Coming back down and testing this level on the ADA BTC. Where else have we got? Litecoin, any good? Litecoin has a lot of good things going for it. It's not one that I hold or one that I've really been keeping up with in depth, so I can't give a proper comment on it. Looking for good coins. VChain mentioned there. Yeah, VChain is one that keeps coming up and one that I really need to find some time to dig into. I did own it at one stage, again back in 2018, early 2018. I had a lot of different altcoins back then, but over time I consolidated back into Bitcoin. I think the only altcoin that I still own from early 2018 is ADA and Ethereum that I held back then. They're probably the only coins that I still hold. Some of the coins that I bought back in that stage, everything else was sold at a different stage. Better where am I? So better to hold 100% ADA and stake or diversify into other alts. Again, this is down to people's own personal risk levels. So holding one asset in general in anything is always that little bit riskier. Now, I do have that soft spot for Cardano and think that it really has a big future. So I'm not as against holding all in ADA as I do be as holding other coins, but it's no harm to put a little bit of diversification in there. Still have your ADA Cardano as the biggest part of your holdings, but no harm to put Bitcoin or something else in there as well. What else we got? So, should you buy right now? DCA is always a good strategy. If you're buying, if you have $1,000, let's say $1,000 or $100, put in $50 at the current market and then set your lower buy orders. So this live stream has went a lot longer with me rambling than I thought it would. So I don't think there really was anything else to cover. It was just to get on. Yeah, high risk, high reward is definitely, it's true for all of crypto and definitely true for holding one asset on its own. So again, if I think if I'm looking at the same stats, we have 110 likes and we have over 300 people on the video right now. Let me just bring it up to see, just to make sure I'm looking at the right stats. So 321 people live right now. That is incredible to see. I never thought when I started this channel just over 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago now, I never thought we'd get to these kind of levels this quick. It really is great to see, and the feedback that I get, the people are actually getting lots of value out of it, really does mean a lot. And like that, if there's ever anything else you want to see on the channel, please do just let me know in the comments. I do read through all of the comments, and right now I am still replying to all of them. If we keep growing at the level that we are, that may change slightly if I get under more pressure, but I will still endeavour to reply to all. And people can always reach out to me, paul@cardanowithpaul.com. You can email me there as well. So I think I will try and wrap it up fairly soon. I thought I was going to do a 20-minute live here so that I could ease into it, because it's been a long time since I've done one. But if this one goes down well, if people get value from it, then I may start to do once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that, but stick to the main topics coming in the pre-recorded. As you can hear, I'm starting to lose my voice too. So what else have we? I don't think there's really anything else coming up in the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to close it out. Let's just see. So the trade that I have open, slightly in profit on it, is 3.5% up. Now, I haven't been trading. ADA, Cardano, has been the one asset that I haven't been trading over the long time. All I've been doing is buying dips and hodling. So what I'm doing at the minute is I've started to look into Binance futures because you can do coin margin here. So I've put in some ADA into this that I can trade with, and it means that I don't have to convert it into Bitcoin or convert it into USDT. I can keep it as ADA, but again, the majority of my funds, this is funds that I bought today in order to trade with. But over the long term, lots of people ask me, should they start trading? Over the long term, no matter what people tell you, that hodling is generally going to be far more profitable for most people than trading. Because when people get into trading, what they do is, the biggest thing to get a handle on in trading is not the strategy, is not anything like that. It is your own emotions. And that is what killed me for so long when I started trading first, was, have I made the right decision? Not following through with your trade. So many times I had the right direction in the market, had everything right, but I panicked and brought up my stop losses too high, and they came down and hit them, and then went in the direction that I was thinking. So in general, if you're going to start trading, make sure that you start with an extremely small account, because if you can't make a small account profitable, then you're not going to be able to do it with more money. There's so many people will tell you, oh, trading is easy. They'll show you all the big profits, but what they're not showing you behind the scenes is the losses that come in turn with the trading. There are a few people out there that are very profitable, that are showing great profits on YouTube and that, but I would also guess that a lot of people showing profits are not making as much as you would think. That behind the scenes, there's lots of losses. There's only a few people that I think are doing really well at trading, that show consistent profit every day. There's people will show profits on once a week or something like that. When they have a random lucky trade, they'll do a lot of shouting about it. But when you start to look around, there's not many people that are posting day after day with consistent profits. So just be careful who you follow in that. I don't claim to be a brilliant trader or anything like that, and I don't give out signals for that specific reason. I do my own bit of trading, and I put out my thoughts on the charts, but I don't call trades for anyone. Okay, so I'm going to close it up there, guys. If you haven't given the video a like yet, please do give it a like. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. And I will take a look at the comments after this, see what people are thinking, see what I missed, and I will try and incorporate them into the next video. I should have another 2 videos coming out this week, but they will be pre-recorded ones on specific topics. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. As I say, hit that like, subscribe, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.